Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel Physics Surgery, and here we are in Physics Surgery Originals. I have brought forward to you a simple topic of elasticity mixed with oscillations. Okay, so let's go ahead and see the formal wording of the question. Okay, so a uniform circular ring of radius r is equal to 2.5 centimeters and mass 10 grams is made of an elastic material. Symmetrically, radially outward forces are applied on the ring to increase its radius from r is equal to 2.5 centimeters to 2.7 centimeters. Young's modulus of the material of the ring is given as 2 into 10 power 11 Newton per meter square, and the radius of cross section of the ring is 1 mm. If all the external forces are removed, in how much time will the ring come to its original radius for the first time in milliseconds? Okay, so this is a very straightforward question, but it all is an important concept for JEE Advanced, so that was the reason for bringing this up right now at this point of time. So give it a try for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so it will definitely boost your confidence in case you get it right, and then move on to the solution that I'm going to provide. Okay, so here's the solution. So what we are going to do in this particular problem is a mix of the Hooke's law and also the way we can write the SHM equation. Okay, so Hooke's law, which tells you that F is, let's say, a tensile force that is developed, right? If I have expanded it to its extreme position at this particular point, the green line defines the extreme position. Then the tensile force F is associated with the Hooke's law stress and strain in this manner: strain equal to stress divided by Young's modulus. The value of the strain, which is longitudinal strain in this particular scenario, would be simply change in perimeter divided by the original perimeter, which I can write in terms of change in radius by original radius. And stress is F by A, okay, where A is the area of cross section of this particular ring, and Y is the Young's modulus. So I rearrange and write it in the format that is suitable for our calculations. Force equal to a constant times of change in radius. Okay, right. So we'll use that in a later stage. Now restoring force on DM, that means if a small DM element, if I pick it out here, this yellow part, which is going to get expanded, okay, and draw its FBD, this tensile force should be acting tangential to this element at either side of it. Okay, so the restoring force can be estimated to be the resultant of these two, which is acting at an angle of 180 minus d theta. Okay, and a simple vector addition yields 2f into cos of that half angle. Cos of 180 minus d theta by 2 yields sine of d theta, and then you end up getting f d theta here. Okay, so with a simple approximation you should be able to get to this. Okay, and then the acceleration on that particular element would be the restoring force divided by the mass of that element, which is nothing but lambda into r d theta, where lambda is the mass per unit length that you can write. Okay, so now what I'll do is, for this f d theta and the lambda r d theta, where d theta gets cancelled, f I'll substitute from here. Can you see? Right? And for dm I'll substitute from here. Okay, so rearranging, you end up getting a is equal to this number multiplied by delta r, where you can argue that this value of delta r is the distance of this particular dm element from its equilibrium position, which tells you I have not put a minus sign because the acceleration is towards the center, whereas displacement is away. So this is a scalar equation that I have written. If you have written it in the vector form, you would have got a minus sign. So when acceleration is negative constant times of the displacement of the particle from its mean or equilibrium position, you can associate it with a simple harmonic motion, with this coefficient being the omega square or angular frequency square. And also lambda, if I substitute as mass divided by 2 pi r, you end up getting it in terms of the given quantities. Mass is given, area of cross section, Young's modulus, and original radius. So with this I can take a square root and to do a 2 pi by omega to get the time period. But time taken to come back to equilibrium from extreme is only 1/4 of the time period. So you rearrange, you get the answer in terms of the given quantities, nicely substitute everything in SI units in this, and you end up getting a numerical answer which is 0.0125 millisecond. Okay, so it's a straightforward, but this kind of a simple FBD and association with Hooke's law is going to be a prime candidate for JEE Advanced syllabus. Okay, so you need to be very, very clear in your thought process while writing the equations in your problem. Okay, so in case you have liked this, please go through the rest of the series that are there in this particular channel: Pathfinder Solution series, Olympiad Workout series, ATS Select series, and Resolve series, where you would be finding more than 100 videos which will cater to your progress in the subject of physics. Okay, so you would definitely enjoy it, and in case you liked it, please do share the content and subscribe to my channel. And also, please, in case you have liked this video, do like it, because the YouTube algorithm will push my video to more audience, and definitely they will be able to enjoy this channel, and hence my subscriptions will increase. Okay, so I hope you understand my uh, uh, request, and please do stay back with me for my next video. It will be equally exciting as this one. Thank you. See you in the next one.